Hello everyone, welcome to episode whatever this is of VOD, that is VOD of Consciousness, and I want my head back. And last time we followed bunnies into a pit and got horribly slaughtered, so we're going to go back down there and try to finish the deal. Unfortunately, I lost my, Nilfastu Earthbound. I lost my kill a boss for bunches of extra points buff, but that's okay. Here's my little flowstone elemental charging along. He's adorable in a rocky sort of way. I really like the design of the flowstone elementals, actually. There's a lot of neat designs in this game. Part of the problem is I'm running this... Not that guy. Not the guy. I'm running Daedalon of Hexen. I'm running this Mesmer as Energy Surge instead of Panic. Panic is definitely the better choice. Panic is a much, much stronger skill. So, I mean, Energy Surge is good damage. Should not have attacked into that Panic there, but whatever. We did what we did. Or clumsiness, rather, excuse me. Okay, cool. And I completed these. They're cheap. Okay. Anything else I want to do down here? I mean, I can kill off the rest of those guys, but there's not a strongly compelling reason for doing that. Okay, well, there's a compelling reason that we've started aggroing them, so let's just finish that business, I guess. Don't really want to. Guess this is what we get. I definitely have some questionable builds throughout this, though. That's okay. Crack's Cavalry is in a different zone. So at this point, I just want to go to this res shrine and get my lovely points. Apparently need to kill some more Vitir. Sympathetic Visage, no. Deep Wound is a really interesting condition design-wise. So Deep Wound, I mean, I don't have a way of showing it off right now, but it's minus 100 maximum HP or 20% of your maximum HP, whichever is less, I believe, something like that. But it's really interesting in that it temporarily lowers your max HP and how much healing you get to kind of be appropriately scaled.
Why are you here?
And it's a very powerful condition, and it's very interesting from that standpoint. Oh, well, now I've earned rank 3 hunting, so like I can't just like not use it. So I guess let's explore this zone a little bit more. Gotta make use of that sweet +3 rep points, you know? Right now, I don't know how long I'm going to spend here. I want to go back and get my quest rewards. I'm going to get knocked down. Okay. It's like Go for the Eyes is one of those skills that's really interesting. It's not a particularly powerful skill. Just for 10 seconds, next time each ally with near shot makes an attack. It basically makes a bunch of extra crits, so it does some amount of extra damage, but the strength of the skill is actually that it gains you energy because of leadership, which is the primary attribute. Right. Yeah. Whenever an ally is affected by one of your shots or chance, you get energy. So that's sweet. Very useful. What is this headpiece? Yeah, that's minor leadership. Makes sense. So that's a cool thing. I'm gonna go talk to Gafir Yogson up here. Names are kind of an interesting thing, aren't they? Like, such a waste of rays of judgment. Like, we have things like Johnson, for example, right? The son of John. And they're the sort of name that indicated something, and then the way that names work now is different. And I don't know. I just find all of that very interesting.
Never anger
Right. Well, I guess that wasn't quite as much as I was expecting it to be. I don't know. I'm just gonna go back to Sifala. That's enough randomly running around. But yeah, names are kind of an interesting thing that way. And the heritage of where they come from and all of that stuff. 15,000 experience points is good. You Move Like a Dwarf is a really, really, really good skill. It's PvE only, so you can't use it against other players, but it is a very good skill. Okay, so, like, this party technically needs some rearrangement. I don't really feel like trying to do it right now, so we're going to ignore that fact. Actually, we're going to do this long enough to switch out that for Panic. Panic is just so much better for immeasurable disruption reasons. Yeah, some glittering dust. Actually, maybe I want to do a better level of salvage on that. I want to clear out my inventory before I go running off to other places. Seems like this always have inventory management, don't they? Okay. Excuse me. Okay, I'm gonna pull these guys down here. Put my glittering dust away and bust out the better salvage. Salvaging some of these. Okay. I was wondering if it could get me fur, basically. So this is where we can, like, see... Not this. This is probably not worth much, but if I go to the merchant here, you can see all of the values that he displays for everything. Excuse me. And as I identify it, so like this holy staff at the bottom goes from 26 to 28, so that's +2. This runic hammer goes from 18 to 20. This long sword goes from 7 to 8, so that one wasn't really worth it, but I didn't think it would be. Scrying glass goes from 23 to 27. The stilettos go from 56 to 94. That's a sizable increase. This smiting rod goes from 38 to 39. Elegant scythe goes from 47 to 66. And the symbol size goes from is already identified. Right. Highly salvageable. Excuse me, means that I can get a lot of stuff out of salvaging it, so I'm going to. And I got 34 iron ingots, which is really good. Okay, clear out my inventory there. Before I head over to Arcs Cavalry. I'm going to go turn those in, then I'm going to go wander off elsewhere. Technically, I'd want to change this guy's build. Load from template. Where do I have? Probably heroes. Type of Sientir. Where do I have just like... That's not... One of those things where I would have thought that I would have had this build lying around, but apparently I don't. I don't know why. Like a lot of these are like my builds for me to use and not necessarily ones that make any sense for the AI. Okay, so if I wanted to do this, I just need to kind of do it myself. So I'd drop Muning. Running power probably comes into 8. Channeling probably goes to 12. Probably a good argument for an 11-10-10 split. That's useful. I don't need... Boon of Creation is probably fine. Union's actually legit, like just a good skill, but we're not going to roll with it. We're going to roll with Signet of Spirits because it's super good. I don't really want Spirit Rift. Essence Strike and Blood Song. And then I went Mend and Spirit Light. That's easy enough to put together. Thunder Weapon's really good. This is probably fine. Yeah, that's probably okay. That's definitely good. Actually, I'm gonna go for Chaos Storm, I think. Let's see. Okay. Ride the Lightning is one of those skills that sounds good in practice and really isn't. I know, that seems better than Thunderclap. Okay. Sorry. Needed to rearrange my builds a little bit. So we'll go ahead and do this quest and come back, get our rewards, and hopefully I don't like die horribly in the middle of trying to do this. It's really early on in this zone, so it should be no big deal. And then we can go do other stuff. Yeah, whatever. Never anger Norn. Thanks. Yeah, I'll avenge your friends, whatever. So this quest is like... It doesn't show it on the map, but... He's just up in this area somewhere, kind of this way. I guess I don't need to hold down Alt, do I? I'm not looking for allies. Control makes enemy name tags show up. Alt makes allied name tags show up. We should be slightly less durable, but have significantly higher DPS. Probably not as much less durable as one would think, though, because I have technically less protection and more healing. There's a subtle difference between protection and healing. That's actually something that I really like about this game, is there's a ton of ways of mitigating damage rather than straight up repairing damage. And I find that to be a really interesting design pattern with the game. I need to take down this Berserking Aurochs because it's the healer. But it's a really interesting design pattern because it means that there's an emphasis on support roles in a really special sort of way, because there's different ways of mitigating damage. There's stuff that protects your allies, so you and your allies, from taking damage in the first place. Then there's stuff that prevents the enemies from dealing damage. So like the blind condition, for example, is super powerful. It's like a 90% miss chance while you're blinded, which is super, super strong. But like, it's mitigated or countered by the fact that it's actually pretty easy to remove conditions. So, and is usually very short in its duration anyway. But while it lasts, if you're a physical attacker, you basically can't hit. Spells don't have accuracy that same way. Excuse me. In case you were wondering, for whatever reason. But I like that design pattern. I feel like in a lot of games, when you're healing, all you're doing is pushing health bars back up. And you're just various ways of doing that. Like Tales of Symphonia, for example, with Rain. Everything with her is about pushing your allies' health bars back up. It's not about... Where is that guy? He's in this area somewhere. It's not about... And like, you really don't have ways of stopping enemies from hurting you. You have block. Yeah, there he is. There's Crack Flame Up. You have the ability to block, but it's of limited... or like, you have to be good enough to make good use of it, sort of thing. And there's... Well, I mean, sure, this guy's here. We'll take him out. Okay, cool. Okay, well, we've come here to do what we meant to do, so let's go ahead and go get our cross reward. But I really like that the healers in this game, they spend their time healing, yes, but they also spend a bunch of time doing other stuff. Like, if you look at monk skills, you're more of a dedicated monk. Like, this right here reduces the damage that people receive. This gives them a chance to block attacks. This adds a buff that does healing, which just helps with little bits of over time. But this, like, for example, reduces damage as well. And there's a bunch of other skills like that. There's an entire attribute line dedicated to skills that protect allies from damage, that reduce it in some way. Like Protective Spirit, for example, which greatly reduces how much hit points can be lost. And even under, like, Smiting Prayers, for example, there's this right here, which reflects damage instead of having it be done to the ally and stuff like that. So there's just a bunch of ways in which they protect without dealing... without just raising health bars up. So it's about knowing... Like, even this right here, right, is about helping health bars. So it's just really interesting, and I think that's really, really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and... yeah, I don't need those skills on my bar right now. Except these lovely quest rewards. And I'm going to go ahead and call it there, I think. So, until next time, everyone. I'm going to make sure I have wave on my thing. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.